Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to a new video. My name is SpencerBerke. I just wanted to say thank you for taking your time out of your day to watch this video. I've had a lot of questions come in over the last couple months. If you don't follow me or you don't know kind of the recent update, I sold my F80 M3. Don't know if I need this video, but car is sold, man. Just got everything out of the car. Just got the check. Appreciate the good times with this car, man. Only a couple months, but I'm happy I'm able to say that I did it for a bit. All right, see you later, F80. Which I had that car for less than 3 months, I think. I bought the car for my 29th birthday as a gift to myself, and really a business investment. If you go and watch my podcast or my other videos, I kind of talk about how I do affiliate marketing and I partner with a lot of companies. I wanted to go into a video that was really in-depth, talking about my experience on why I was like so easily capable of letting go of the F80. When I sold it, I had no emotion attachment to it. Like, I was ready to sell it right away. So I wanted to talk about the reason why, and also the reason why I bought an E90 so quickly, and this being my third E9X. I don't want it just to be me. I wanted to get opinions from my friends and from other people that I know. So I ended up asking a couple of my friends who have either tracked their cars or they're new owners to F80 M3s or whatever, to give their opinion on what they think about F80 versus E9X. So this video will go over all that. Beyond that, on my podcast, I'll have a 30-minute conversation. So yeah, let's start the video. So I made a list of the good and the bad, only because I wanted to make sure that over like a week period, I could write down everything that I think of on why I sold the car and why I went to an E90. It's a pretty big list. So why don't we start with the F80 M3? What do I like about that car? It feels very luxurious. I bought a 2018. It was loaded with, I think, every option besides competition, which I had the carbon roof, I had red interior, I had a heated steering wheel, which was really nice. I love that. And it feels brand new. Like, it's a 2018. It has a lot of new technology and it felt amazing to drive. The car is really fast in a straight line. Like, it's a fast car. And you see these guys doing like pure stage 2 and all these crazy like E85 tunes, and you can get 700 horsepower out of these things, which is absurd. My background and my passion is motorsport, in particular like Australian V8s and road courses. I don't really like straight line speed. I don't need it. Like, I'd rather be fast in the corners, and everyone has a different opinion, no problem. I feel like that car is just too much power, and I don't want it to sound weird, but like, that's a lot of power for a car that you don't really need, and you can really never put it down unless you're doing street racing, which I don't do. I don't do any straight line stuff. So it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's very fast. Like, right out the box, no tune, no anything. If you do a downpipe and tune, you get a lot of power very quickly.
Hey, neighbor.
What are you doing?
Taking my dog to go pee.
Nice.
I'll see you soon.
All right, bro. See ya. It's one of the owners of Precision. I'm parked like right outside Precision. So the car looks great. Like, that's F82. That car looks really good. The F80 M3, the fender lines on it, amazing. Huge trunk, huge back seats. I could fit everything in that car that I needed to, which was really nice to have. A lot of cargo space. Felt very reliable, no issues with it. I did the crank hub issue right away, and I tracked it 3 times with no problem. Not one problem at all. And it felt great. It was a nice car. I did Sparco seats in it. It felt reliable. I didn't feel like anything was gonna break. The driving position was great. With the E9Xs, you sit so high. With the F80, you actually sit pretty comfortably low. At the same time though, I would prefer to sit lower. If you look at my position right now, you probably can't tell, but I'm 6'2", and I have my brackets almost all the way down to the floor. They are the Mox Chanel low profiles, and I have the seat brackets mounted pretty low. So I sit low and back, so my eye level is at the steering wheel. E9Xs have a big problem with that, but F80s were not that bad. So when I got in the car, I was very happy to feel that the seating position was legit. The last thing too is it held value. I think it's mostly because of the market right now. The market's pretty hot. There's planes flying everywhere. The car held value very well, and I think it's just because the market's hot right now. I was able to almost break even on the car. I could have gotten a little bit more money, but I just said, you know what? I just want to get rid of the car and be able to have that money freed up to buy a different car. It did hold value very well, which was nice. And like I said, all those bullet points are the good things that I can think off on the top of my head. I think it has a lot of potential. If you want to do mods to it, it's very professional businessman-esque, if you want it to be that way. I think with all those good things being said, let's jump into the bad things. So I have a feeling that this may end up making a lot of people mad, but I'm gonna be honest with everyone and just say what I feel. I think the first thing we have to talk about is the sound. That's a tough one, man. I've seen so many people do the, I don't know if it's equal length, mid-pipe or something like that. I heard one with the competition exhaust. It sounded okay. Every other system, I think, sounds terrible. Literally, every F8X I've heard sounds bad. I've never heard one that I'm like, wow, that sounds really cool. Every V8, even when they're obnoxiously loud, even when they have a restricted OEM setup, they still sound really good. There's induction noise. There is the exhaust noise in general of the motor, the S65 V8. That is such a good motor. They just sound bad. I just don't like the fact that you spend all this money on a sports car and it sounds bad. You just don't, you get less experience out of a driving connection. It's a big car. Like, it feels huge. I'm in this E90, and the first thing when I got in this car when I bought it, going from the F80, I'm like, wow, this car is small. And it is, it's smaller. And I prefer that because you feel more nimble on the track, you feel more nimble on the street, you're closer to each door. I can touch this door. In the F80, I don't think I can touch the door. Like, I like this car to be small. It's just a big, F80 is a huge car. Very fast. I know that's weird on the bad list, but it's just too much power. I went to Button Willow, put on a 159, which I was happy with just tires, RE71Rs, and brake pads. I did have the seats in it too, but I followed a good friend of mine who is really good at driving, and I put down a 159, which I was very impressed with, but it took a lot of effort. I probably did 30 laps to get that, a full tank of gas, just ripping through it, and I finally got the 159, which felt good. I was very happy. The whole time, I wasn't really enjoying myself as much as I wanted to because the sound, there was one point where I was behind a NASCAR and I couldn't hear my car. And I understand NASCARs are loud, but I couldn't feel my car. I couldn't hear it. When I have an exhaust on this car, you can feel it. It allows you to be more connected with the car, and I'll keep going back to the sound. The crank hub issue, everyone says it's a myth. I don't know. I had the whole engine apart and we looked at it. I understand how it works. I get it. It makes sense to do. Like, I would say that you have to do it. It's expensive to do, but it's peace of mind, and I think that's on the bad list because it's like money out of your pocket to fix something that BMW should have had fixed right away. The steering, man, oh my gosh. The steering in the F80 M3 is the least connected part of the car. I posted a video of me driving, I think I was at the S's or at bus stop or something on Button Willow, just a quick couple turns, and I was watching my footage and I was like data logging, trying to see what I was doing, and my steering was just so loose, like left and right every 2 seconds, and it was just way too loose. And I had a couple different driving modes you can do where it's very light and then also it's heavier. Even when it was heavier, it was just so not connected. Like, you'd throw it a little bit to the left and right and it would just be way too responsive, and it didn't feel like it matched the car size and matched the car's grip, if that makes any sense. You'll see in the video like how much my hands are moving. I want heavier steering. I want something that's more of a challenge to drive. Like I said, this is my personal opinion. I'm sorry if anyone gets butthurt about it, but I'm just being honest, is that the community is much more of a, I would say, bought over built. And I don't mean that in any kind of way of being rude. I just think that when you look at that platform, it's very easy to just say, here's a downpipe, here's a tune, here's an exhaust, and here's coilovers. Okay, done. And sure, you can do that with any car, but do you think most of the F8X owners, most of them, I'm not talking about the guys on the forums. I'm not talking about the guys in the Facebook groups. I'm talking about like the business 9-to-5 guys. When there's the enthusiast side of it, that's when it's obviously fun. I was talking to Kennedy about it. He has an F80 too. He agrees. He loves his car, but he would love to have an E9X for all the same reasons I'm listing, along with the community. Community's very like high-end, professional, a little bit more money. Obviously, with a car being that expensive, your demographic is different to an extent. I feel like the F8X platform is like playing golf with your family. The E90 is like going to Warp Tour in 2010 and standing in the middle of the mosh pit as a breakdown is about to happen. If you don't know what that means, just imagine being at a concert. Whoa! Oh, that's just a, is that a moth? What is that? Oh, that's a bug. That was a bee. What I'm trying to say is that it's like the demographic is so different. E9X is definitely a younger crowd, I'd say, because it's more attainable quickly, I guess. The F80 is more of like professional, grown, mature adult, and I get that. Like I felt that when I was in the F80, I felt very like professional and like businessman, and I felt important. When I get into the E9X, I felt special. I felt as if every time I sat in this car, whether bone stock or track spec, it was always an experience. It was never just A to B. The F8X was always just like, okay, let's go here and here, and that's it. E90s, I feel like you get in anywhere you go, whether it's a grocery store, or it's to your shop, or it's to see your family, or to go for a drive or a photo shoot. Every time I'm in an E9X, I feel as if it's an experience, a connected experience, every time. Every single time. And I noticed with the E90s, I would look back way more often. Like anywhere I parked, I would look back 10 times. With the F80, I'd look back once, like, okay, it's kind of cool. I had plans to do E88s on it, and I had a couple other things I wanted to do. And I just got to a point where I could not justify putting money into the car if I didn't absolutely love the car. It just didn't make sense. And I could afford it. I saw a lot of people online talk. It doesn't matter to me, but I want to put you guys in a position to understand that I could fully afford the car with all my YouTube and my affiliate and my marketing and stuff like that. But I think when I started earning my own money from my own business, everything changed. I spend my money differently now, and I wanted to buy things that I love, that I absolutely love, not just stuff that I like. And the F80, I had an opportunity to partner with a couple companies, make some money off affiliate, sell a couple products here and there. I wanted to be a better example and get higher end quality parts, and I was trying to. And thankfully, I partnered with Sparko, really good brand. Thank you guys so much for that. And I partnered with a couple other people. I decided to go in a different direction, and a lot of those guys are moving with me. They're willing to work with me on my journey. So I feel like this went way longer than I anticipated. I have on here too, parts are really expensive. Parts are definitely expensive for the F8X. I mean, a lot of high-end parts are going to be expensive no matter what car you have, really, but I think I could go on and on, but this video is going to get really long. So if you want to, you can check out my podcast. I'll do a full episode in like full detail, and maybe I'll go sit down with Mike at Precision as well and get his opinion. But there's a plane taking off, and then now it's a leaf blower. Okay. I'm going to publish this video. I don't care. I don't want to have perfection. I wanted to go get all this fancy lighting and film outside. We're putting this video out, okay? So I hope that gives you guys more clarity on where I stand with the F8 and... I'm sweating so much, dude. Dude, it's all flying in my car. Oh. I just feel like the E9X has such a good connection. You have so much more soul and feeling to it. I made a comment in my last video talking about how the F80 has no soul. I don't think it does, man. It really doesn't. And people can disagree all day because they have their opinion, and I respect that. I have no problem respecting someone else's opinion on what they think of a car. But on my end, I want a car to give me an experience every time I drive it. Like the sound of this thing, the shifting, the DCT, like the driving position on and off the track, whether it's in the morning going to pick up my medicine at 7 a.m. at CVS, or it's me at Buttonwillow trying to put down a 159 in this car. You know, there's all these different variants that you can put these cars through, and that's why I keep going back to this platform, is that I'm so in love with it because of what it gives me in return. The feedback that it gives me, the rewarding feeling you get of just downshifting and driving and steering. There's just so much this car offers that I can't think of a car that's better. And I don't want to sound like I'm some hot shot or specialty guy or whatever, but I've driven legitimately over 1,000 Lamborghinis. I've driven plenty of cars working as a photographer in the car industry. It's what I did most of my life. I've had the opportunity to drive so many different cars, and the only thing that really comes close is Porsche, like GT3 RS, like that car, and any generation really, that car gives you the same rewarding experience of heavy steering, and you get an amazing sound, and you can choose all these different ways to make the car louder and sound different, and different applications for your Sunday drive to the car show or full-blown track car. That's what I like about these. You have so many options to do that. And sure, you can do that with the F80, but I don't know, man. I never felt that connection with the F80. I just never did. And that was why I had no problem selling the car quickly and just moving on. Thank you to everybody who participated in sending me over a video. That was really nice, you guys. I'm thankful that I have such a good audience, and I really enjoy the E9X community. You guys are great. Couple people that, you know, have things to say, but like I said, I respect any opinion. Yeah, I'm not butthurt over anything. You can say you hate the E90s all day. Doesn't bother me, man. I'm happy as hell having this car and owning it again, especially a rare version of this car. That was a good one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please thumbs up the video and subscribe. And also, if you want to, you can check out the build on SpencerBerke Garage on Instagram. With that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.